Well, guys and gals, we have officially made it to the end of the year. It's just a couple days before the end of 2024, and it's also very befitting that at the end of 2024, I'm actually reviewing this particular figure. It's hard to believe that it's been 30 years since the original Macross Plus OVA debuted for public consumption, and I've been a Macross fan and Robotech fan for as long as I can remember. And if you all will permit me to be just a little bit nostalgic right now, when I first saw the OVA back in 1994, I was basically a junior in high school. So that's how long I've been a Macross fan. If the original Robotech series kind of spurred my excitement for this brave new anime world, Macross Plus, the original OVA, definitely kicked in the afterburners and made me reignite my excitement for anime in general. And because of it, I was able to rediscover some really brilliant anime out of the 90s, and I'm sure if you're anime fans, you know exactly what I'm talking about. It really has to be said, and I think it's very important to kind of look back 30 years, especially if you are a Macross fan. In terms of merchandising, things were very slim in terms of being able to collect these items. And then you have a show like Macross Plus, or the OVA I should say, and basically it reignited our passions. You started to see more and more kind of figurines and more merchandise from this series, which was extremely popular not only in Japan, but also when it came over to the United States and became Robotech. Macross Plus was really ahead of its time. Not only does the anime still hold up even today, but it was also very prophetic, bringing up issues and subject matter like the proliferation of AI, what it means to be human, and our place in the universe. And of course, if you weren't impressed by any of that stuff, it still had some of the sexiest, coolest mech designs you've ever seen. Definitely some of my favorite Valkyrie designs. They were absolutely amazing. So today we're going to be reviewing Tamashii Nation's version of the YF-21, the Guld Boa Bowman Usei 1/6 scale figure. Let's take a closer look. So I'm going to preface this right now. I am not transforming this thing. This is what Gerwalk mode looks like. And of course, we have the alternate mode, which is the Batroid mode, which I'll show you what it looks like in a moment. This is what the Batroid mode looks like. Again, I had a nightmare time trying to transform the VF1J. I'm not putting myself through that again. This is not that video. So I've been very impressed with the DX Chogokin line of these Valkyries. I think it was taken over by Bandai, and then Tamashii Nations kind of evolved into it. I'm not exactly sure, but we do get this really great Valkyrie design, and it is absolutely outstanding. The level of detail in the cockpit, and here we see Guld Boa Bowman, is just amazing. The Tampo designs in terms of the stickers, which are not really stickers, they're painted on, are really great. I love the crystal clear parts. The fuselage is just absolutely stunning. And the radar does a really unique thing that you can actually manipulate it. You can go, I think, 360 degrees. Just so that, or 180 I guess, I don't know what the degrees are, but I did want to display it with the canopy open because it looks great. Now, the line art on this particular Valkyrie looks absolutely outstanding, and I really love those subtle designs. There's a lot of detail here in terms of the imprinting and the painting. Just looks absolutely magnificent. The reds offset against the blue, the color palette is fantastic, and just the subtle details and the subtle colorations. The color palette of this Valkyrie has always been one of my favorites, and I absolutely love what they did here in terms of the overall surface. Now, there's some issues where things are a little bit cracked, so to speak, and what I mean by cracked, just they don't fit well, but I do love the stabilizers, and the actual stabilizers kind of move and you can articulate them, which I think is really cool. Also helps with transformation, even though I'm not transforming this one. Now, the bottom of the aircraft is just sleek and smooth. I know that with the other iterations, especially in the Yamato ones, there was this thing, that kind of running joke and a meme, that it looked a little bit pregnant. This one absolutely doesn't. You can see that they put a lot of care and time into the profile of this, which makes it extremely accurate to the line art. Absolutely stunning, and you just gotta love the way that this looks. It's probably the most accurate that I've seen. Now, superficially, in terms of the surface area, it's really well done. I just love the profile here. And just look at all of the amazing details. Just everything is done very well. And one thing I wanted to mention, you see the nozzles for the thrust vectors. You actually have to put those on one by one, and they are articulate, so they're not static. You can very easily move them and manipulate them in whatever direction you want. I also love the finish on them. That gunmetal gray looks really fantastic. Just know that there are certain parts to this that you have to add on just to make it anime accurate, and I guess for the overall design. Now this line is really good in giving you, in terms of like the ability to display it with some really great display options. In this particular case, they've given you display options for all three modes: the fighter, the girl rock, and the Batroid, and they fit on pretty firmly. And one of the things I like about it is that even though it's done in all black finish, it doesn't look generic, and that's very important. Now, of course, in terms of the overall base, I would always like to see something a little bit more along the lines of the Macross logo, which would be great, but we didn't get it here. But nevertheless, I think it's still impressive. Now, we also get an alternate canopy where you see the bubble area. It's got kind of this frost finish, which I think is really cool. So you have a couple of options in terms of how you want to display it with the canopy. So it's a little accessory, but I think it's a pretty important one, because some people really like to have those accessories that are exclusive to the OVA, and this is one of those options. Now, this is a very interesting package, and it actually gives us hints as to what they're going to do next in terms of accessories for this particular figure. Now, you get these two kind of particle effects for the shields that you see in the OVA. You get 4 of the hand cannons, or the gun pods, which, you know, you can do akimbo with this, along with the super parts where you can stow them, which actually looks really amazing. And then you get this tread at the bottom. I think this is an alternate tread for the bottom of the fuselage, and some additional parts in terms of the landing gear, which you're going to see a separate packet for that. But it does come with a lot of stuff here, several trays of them, in fact. Just be careful, because you know you might lose them, and you know I hate losing parts. Now here again, you get these kind of like plastic bags that have the little pieces for if you want to display it like when it's landed. If you want to have the landing gear out, you'll have to put these little parts out. And if you'll notice, there's 2 attachments to the right, and I think this is actually for the fold booster, which might be in a separate package or a different iteration of this figure. It's a shame that it doesn't come with the fold booster like the YF-19 did, or the variant of it, which was the advanced variable fighter, but nevertheless, this is what we get. I think they're going to sell it in a separate fold booster pack. I don't know, I think that's where they're going. It shows that it can be connected to the fold booster though. Now, you know, there was no way in hell that I was going to do this review without comparing it or showing it in frame with the actual YF-19. And now this is the older iteration of the YF-19. I also have the advanced variable fighter that came with the fold booster, which is really awesome. But as you can see, both of them together look absolutely outstanding, and it doesn't matter where you put them together. These are 2 legendary fighters, and they look amazing. I just hope that they'll make the VF-11B, which will look amazing. Now, yes, of course, I didn't transform the damn thing, but you guys know what the Gerwalk and the Batroid mode look like. This is an outstanding piece. It is definitely a holy grail piece. I know that some of the 160 Yamato figures are going for astronomical prices. This is still relatively priced, so if you have an opportunity to pick this one up, and if you didn't get the YF-21 from the previous iterations, now's the perfect time to get it, because this is as perfect to the line art and to the anime as has ever been in terms of transformation, or the perfect transformation. So definitely pick this one up. My biggest hope for the future, and I'm keeping my fingers crossed, hopefully in the next couple of years, is that they'll do a refresh, a DX line for the VF-11B, which would absolutely be outstanding. I have the original Yamato 160 scale figure, which I think I'm going to be looking back at just to do a review, but let's just hope they make it. Nevertheless, this one is a must-own. Alright everybody, so that's my official review of Tamashii Nation's version of the YF-21, the Guld Boa Bowman Usei 160 scale figure. As always, I thank you for tuning in, and I'll see you on the next Raudeza reviews. And if this is the last show before the end of the new year, I want to wish you a happy new year. I hope prosperity for all of my subscribers and everybody who watched this channel for so many years, and those who just maybe stopped in to watch this video. I wish wonderful things for you in 2025, and we're going to keep those reviews going. Happy New Year, everybody.